Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Tactical here. So, UFC 306 is last night, right? Sphere event. Once in a lifetime, one and done. UFC event. We will never see anything like it. And, you know, if you watch my predictions on this card, you watched any of my videos over the past week, um, this was, in my opinion, one of the weakest cards on paper we've had all year, I'd say. And with what Dana pulled off here with the Spearman, um, production wise, this was one of, if not the best events the UFC has put on. I I don't think I don't think anybody will argue with that. But as far as a card, as far as the fights go, there were some interesting fights. There were some good performances, but it was a very lackluster event. It really was. If I was spending thousands and thousands on tickets before the ticket drop, you know, I've never been to an MMA fight before. I will one day go to a UFC event. I want to go to all of them. I want to go to UFC. I want to go to Bellator and PFL, I guess. I want to see a fight in one. Obviously, that requires the fight probably to be in Canada, and I don't want to go to a card that, isn't, doesn't have enough name tone on it to where I can justify paying hundreds of dollars for the tickets and then whatever for a hotel and gas and everything. But, I don't know. What the UFC did here was impressive, you know, but I still think that this card really, really was one of the weakest of the year. But, before we get into that, I want to pull up this video. Now, you guys know Dana White, you know, if you've been watching the sport for years, decades maybe, you know Dana White and you know his tendencies. Um, when somebody he doesn't want the bell tongue wins, he will talk about the other fighter and how they didn't look right. They weren't up to shape, all this stuff. And you can tell by this clip, Dana, just like majority of the fight community, is not happy that Sean lost. But let's watch this. Were you disappointed with Sean? 1 second, let me make sure I have. I didn't. There we go.
Sean had fire in that last little bit when he was throwing those body kicks, but you didn't seem to see that fire from Sean maybe throughout that you might have expected.
I don't disagree with you. He looked flat. He didn't look sharp. He didn't look crisp until the last round. He hurt him with that body shot. He knew he hurt him with the body shot, and he kept going in and trying to finish. But, yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I looked at the punch stats. There's like six in a couple of the rounds. So
do you feel like, I don't know if you can put your finger on why he performed the way he did, but, there were so many expectations on him, and this card was built and got so much hype, and then he is the star of the card. Do you think that might have impacted him in any way?
you'd have to ask him that. I don't know the answer to that question, but I think that he's one of those kids that lives for moments like this. I mean, this is what he's all about. He's that guy. I think that I don't know if he just got in there tonight and felt flat. Some nights it's just Just is what it is.
Were you disappointed with Sean?
Okay, so you notice he didn't talk about Rob once. He didn't talk about the performance that Rob had. He only talked about how Sean didn't work himself, which he didn't. I think, you know, Sean, the whole fight, he couldn't get anything set up. You know, he had that good body shot, like Dana said, but he wasn't able to land any big combinations. Marab was constantly pressuring him, and you know, to me, Marab has one of the most boring fucking fight styles I've ever seen. And I'm sorry if you're a Marab fan and that, but he doesn't go for finishers. He he goes for the decision. And you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to win these fights. Like, this is their livelihood on the lines. We are just fans watching the sport. But it's like, alright, takedown. Wow. Oh my god, let's see what he does with it. Nothing? Alright, Sean's back up. Alright, let's see the fight. Back again, holding him on the ground. Nothing there. And, you know, I won't take away from Rob. Same way I won't take away from Bilal. It's it's a style that wins, but it's a style that, you know, even the hardcores, especially the casuals, don't like. But you know, when it comes to him versus Umar, I think that's a difficult matchup for him. Obviously, we know the Dagestanis, we know the name Nurmagomedov and what that means in the sport of MMA. But, man, like, Marab, I don't want to just parody everything that everybody else says, but he is one of the weirdest and dumbest fighters I've ever seen. Getting injured before his fights, uh, doing the weird spinning shit in public, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so frustrating too because Marab, he has such a great style. He has great wrestling, but he doesn't do anything with it. I forgot how many finishers does he have? I need to turn down this again. Um, so Marab has uh, let me pull up Sherdog here. Come on. So Marab is 18-4, right? He has 3 knockouts, 1 submission, and 14 decisions. Uh, of those decisions, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'll give it to him that they are all unanimous decisions. But like, as a fight fan, right? Like I said, it's one of the most boring fucking styles I've ever seen. Like, when you watch Islam fight, right? And the thing with Islam and Khabib too is that they didn't fight many high level fighters until they were around title contention or they got the title. You look at Khabib, you know, he beat RDA, he beat Michael Johnson, but it wasn't until he beat Conor for the title when he started fighting the Justin Gaethjes of the world, the Dustin Poiriers of the world. I would have loved to seen him fight Michael Chandler if he stayed. Um, but like the difference between Marab and Khabib and that is that Khabib and Islam, they every fight they have, they prove something different. Like I feel like in the Dustin Poirier fight with Islam, Dustin Poirier stood up and traded with, uh, or no, Islam stood up and traded with Dustin, and he won. You know, Dustin looked great in that fight. But like Islam striking has come a long way, and obviously we know about him getting knocked out and all that. But every fight he has, he looks better. Um, Compare that though with Marab, and maybe the same thing happens with Marab. Maybe now that he has the title, we'll see him get the spectacular finishes. We'll see him be a legitimate submission threat. But just being a point fighter, it's not gonna get you far with the fans. But either way though, it was great performance by Rob. I can't take it away. Sean, he didn't work himself. Uh, from the sounds of it, him versus Marab versus Umar is next. I don't know, maybe you do a Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. Um, Even though, let's see. I'm just double checking to make sure. Yeah, it's a fight we haven't seen before, and I think it's a fun matchup. Uh, Sean versus yeah, Sean versus Sandhagen will be fun. But now I want wait. Okay, every problem that I had with um the main event is the complete opposite for the co-main event. Now, in the co-main event, I kind of had a feeling that Grosso would pull it out. Um, I thought, since she won the last fight by submission, I thought her ground game was better. I thought she had better striking in the second fight. I kind of thought that Grosso would submit Shevchenko again. And I gotta be honest, I forgot how she won the last fight. Yeah, it was fourth round submission. You know, but dude, Valentina Shevchenko showed everybody why she is one of the greatest of all time. There was a lot of grappling in there, but it was very, very competitive. Alexa Grasso had a couple of deep submission attempts, which I thought they were going to go through, honestly. But no, Shevchenko, uh, Shevchenko fought a brilliant fight. Her being one of the greatest of all time and her being that old, this is a statement win for her. We all know that Amanda Nunes probably will not be touched as far as accolades and being the greatest of all time. But I put Valentina Shevchenko up there, number 2 easily. You look at who she's fought. She fought Nunes multiple times. She's fought nothing but the best in her division. And, I feel like there are a few good fights for her left. But, who knows? Phenomenal performance by her. And speaking of another phenomenal performance, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Now, I feel like me and a lot of people bought this pay-per-view because we wanted to see what this fight was like. This fight was supposed to happen at UFC 303. Yeah, 303, I'm pretty sure. but Brian Ortega got sick, I think, and had to pull out. But Diego Lopez, um, he looked fucking incredible. You know, he he knocked Brian Ortega down very early in the first, and he had him cut open nearly the entire fight. I really wish this was a 5 round fight. Um, Brian Ortega. I've always loved Brian Ortega because he has only fought the best of the division, and he's always hung in there and had his moments. Um, in this fight too, he landed some big shots, but Diego Lopez just showed that he's younger, he's faster. The power this guy has at featherweight is insane. And what made this fight so compelling to me was the level of jiu-jitsu that both of these guys have. Well, like Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez are high-level jiu-jitsu fighters. I don't think I need to tell you that. You look at what Brian Ortega nearly did to Volkanovski. Any other fighter would have tapped in that guillotine. But Volkanovski is one of the best of all time. But Diego Lopez versus Ilia Topuria is a very, very fun fight for me. I really like this fight. Um, obviously, Ilia Topuria's striking is unreal. But I think these are the two main young up and coming featherweights that are here to stay for the foreseeable future. And I cannot wait to see Diego Lopez fight the winner of Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. But, um, you know, that was one of the fights right there that saved the card, for me at least. Then Zalhilbert versus Ribovic. Ribovic, okay. This fight, it was it was a good fight. I thought Daniel Zalhilbert was doing good at the start of the fight, but Esteban Ribovic, man, I don't know what it was in the second, but like the second and third, he looked like a completely different fighter. He was landing clean combinations. He was controlling the octagon well. But like, oh, dude, this fight was a lot better than I thought it'd be. Um, I had a feeling that Ribovic would win, but man, that fight was incredible, and on a card that just didn't have many good fights. Uh, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus O.D. Osborne. I don't really got much to say about that fight. You know, O.D. Osborne had a knockdown and a few submission attempts, but outside of that, Ronaldo Rodriguez just, man, I don't know. I had a tough time figuring out who I thought won the fight while I was watching it. But I don't know. I think I kind of think ODR's born. In my eyes, I thought he did enough to justify a win, but I guess not. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Holy shit! Like if you haven't seen Irene Aldana's face after this fight, that is, like, that has to be one of the worst looking fighters after a fight I've ever seen. I, I put that above, uh, Joanna Jacek. I put that up against, um, Robbie Lawler against Rory McDonald too. Like, that was bad. The gash that she had in her forehead was just so fucking huge. Like, I really thought they were gonna stop the fight in the third. I really thought it would be a doctor stoppage, but I didn't know Aldana stayed in there. But dude, Norma Dumont, I didn't know much about her coming into this fight. But dear God, dude, like, that image remains in my head still. Like, I remember when they were announcing the winner of the fight and that, and they were standing in the middle of the octagon while Bruce Buffer was giving the results. And, like, fuck, dude, I couldn't get over it with how big, for a female fight too, in bantamweight. We never saw Amanda Nunes do anything like that to somebody. You know, like I said, the worst woman fight, the worst amount of damage I've seen from a woman fight was when Joanna turned into fucking Megamind. But dear God, Norma Dumont, I'm interested to see who she fights next, and she is definitely up there in title contention. Obviously beating Irene Aldana, but dear fucking God, uh, then we had Ignacio Bahamadis against Manuel Torres. Ignacio got he got two knockdowns, then he got the KO at 4 minutes in the first round. He looked fucking unreal in this fight. Ignacio Bahamadis, however you say it, that guy, that performance was unreal. Same here with Yasmin Yagui against Ketlin Souza. Ketlin Souza, like, she, like, at the start of the fight, right? Yasmin, I always say Yasmin, I can't say it last name. She was landing some good shots in that, but, like, I've never seen a fight go so south so quick in a woman's fight. Then Kellen Souza, once she got the knockdown, went for a submission, easily got it. But yeah, great performance by her. Edgar Chirize versus Joshua Van. Joshua Van impressed the shit out of me in this fight. I thought Edgar Chirize would win the fight just because Joshua Van was coming off of that knockout against Charles Johnson. But Josh Van looked incredible in this fight. He landed 183 strikes to 87, 118 of them being significant. He got 3 takedowns. Edgar Chirize went for a submission, but Joshua Van was able to easily defend it. Like, Josh Van, the performance he had there is a performance that he needed, and I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he looked fucking incredible in that fight. And then I'm glad I went back. I'm glad I went from main event down to prelims because Raul Rosas Jr., right? I like him. I think he's a tremendous fighter. I thought he had a really good showing of against Rory, but like I know the UFC was hoping that he could get the finish in this fight. Uh, you know, he he didn't. I don't want to say he didn't come close. Well, like he dominated the fight for sure. I thought there's no way Rory could win this fight, but I just thought that they. I thought he needed the performance that the hype that we give him can match. And, obviously, too, I have tremendous respect for any fighter who goes in the octagon. Any promotion, really. Whether it's amateurs, whether it's backyard fighting. If you're in the sport, I respect you. But Rosas Jr., although it was an impressive performance, I do kind of think he has some time to develop, and he definitely is missing skills in his arsenal. But like I said, incredibly young in the bantamweight division. He can get up there for sure. He's 10-1. But now that I've gone through the fights that I wanted to go through, I want to talk about the event as a whole really quickly before I go. You know, we've had a lot of good cards this year. Umar, Sandhagen. We've had Pereira versus Prohaska too. We have Pereira versus Jamal Hill. We had Gaethje versus Max Holloway. We've had a lot of good fights this year. But like for a one and done event, for a UFC pay per view, and I know you had the two title fights. Apart from Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez, which was the one fight that's will be on this pay per view, there wasn't many star names. We had a lot of good performances. Well, I do not think this event justified the cost that they were originally asking for tickets. Um, but as far as the production goes, like I said, best production I've seen from any sporting event ever, maybe. I enjoyed it a lot more than most boxing fights. I enjoyed it more, not right more than the Super Bowl, but it was fun. Um, I don't know. Now, on top of Bilal being champion, we have Marab as champion. Pico can't finish fights. Pico boring fights. So I don't know. I don't think Bilal is boring. I don't think he can finish people. But that's all I got for now. Let me know in the comments what did you think about the Sphere card. What do you think about Marab winning? Valentina Shevchenko with you? Any fight, any fighter, any thoughts you have on this card, drop them down below. Let's discuss them, and yeah. Let me check really quick. Who's fighting next week? Right here. Saturday 28th. Okay, so nobody's fighting next week. We got Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis. That's good. William Gomez versus Joanna Brito. Kevin Doucette versus Brian Battle. Nazarene Immerwahr versus Brandon Allen. Morgan Terry versus Gabriel Miranda. Ferris Dion versus Matt Fregola. And then preliminary, we got Ion Kutabala versus Ivan Ursulin. Umar, I don't know how to say any. Okay, these names, I have no fucking clue. Some I can pronounce, some I can't, but should be a fun fight. Yeah. That's all I got for now. Thank you for watching if you stayed to the end of the video. And yeah, later.